One of the problems that I'm really focused on these days that clients, and we're starting to see more and more of these challenges, is the beneficial reuse of sediments. And that is not just environmentally impacted or contaminated sediments, but also dredged for navigation and dredging. What are they going to do with all these sediments? Many of the confined disposal facilities are filling up. They don't know what to do with the sediments. It's also an objective of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. They've stated they want to get to 100% beneficial reuse of sediments, both environmentally impacted and navigational dredged sediments. I think one of the biggest challenges that our clients face is with respect to sediment remediation. What are they cleaning up to? Not all states, not all jurisdictions interpret cleanup levels the same way. In addition to, obviously, in the sediment arena, providing investigation, characterization of the sediments, developing feasibility studies to identify what would be an appropriate remedy, acting as a liaison to regulatory agencies, and helping them through the process. Because in some of the most challenging sediment sites, especially when we're talking with emerging contaminants like perfluorinated compounds, we're all learning together. So we need to have an open dialogue and really try to figure these solutions out with the agencies. Some of the other services we offer is more comprehensive, big picture thinking about not just cleaning up the sediment, but what is the intended future use of these sediment sites. One of the projects that I'm involved with is a project in New York. It's an urbanized industrial canal system, and it's a very challenging project because it's an environmental project. It's a CERCLA project. It has a record of decision. It has to be cleaned up, but that is not the biggest challenge of the project. The biggest challenge of the project is that the canal is completely lined with very aging infrastructure. It's also a project that requires some innovative construction or remediation techniques that have never been applied before at a full scale, where we're going to actually be doing stabilization of sediments with large diameter augers and cement. So we're working on a project in the Portlands of Ontario where they want to construct a naturalized river mouth for the Don River and give it back its former mouth to Lake Ontario to prevent flooding, and build a very intricate wetland and park system around it with kayak launches and pedestrian bridges and new city bridges as well. But they never really thought about how do we put this river back where it was when the last 70 years this has been a bulk oil storage terminal. And not only that, we want to build this over an area that has very thick historical deposits of peat, which are a real settlement concern. So that's where we really come in, especially with some of our geotechnical expertise, our civil expertise, our coastal resiliency expertise. This not only has to be geotechnically sound, but it has to last. If they get a flood, they can't be blowing out the bank of the river. So we get involved in all of these various aspects of design, and we are presently doing that in Toronto. It's a very exciting project.